Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on the 8 p.m. bilingual newscast on EQUINOXE television, live from our central news desk in Douala, Cameroon. In this edition of the newscast, we announce to you that Nijon Fundi has been released. The national chairman of the Social Democratic Front party has been released after several hours in captivity. The SDF party says the chairman was taken by kidnappers in Kumbu in the Bui division of the northwest region of Cameroon this morning. We shall be having an official, of course, the shadow cabinet minister of communication of the SDF party in this edition of the newscast. We shall equally talk about the regretting of the deepening socio-political crisis in the two English-speaking regions of the country. And of course, an official of the Catholic Church has regretted that the crisis is worsening further. He is the Bishop of Kumba, a Kumba diocese of the Roman Catholic Church in Cameroon. Up north Cameroon, we take you to Kolofata to see how Kolofata is fighting to come out of the hardship that the Boko Haram activities has caused to inhabitants of this locality in the far north region of the country. More on this and more in this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us in the second segment of news in the English language. We begin with one of our lead stories. Nijon Fundi, the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front party, has been released. The SDF party says the chairman was kidnapped this morning in Kumbu, chief town of the Bui division, northwest region of Cameroon, at the head of a convoy that accompanied the remains of late Honorable Joseph Banasem Liking, Social Democratic Front Party's parliamentary group leader. The shadow cabinet minister of communication for the Social Democratic Front Party, Jean-Robert Wafo, confirms that the chairman is safe and sound in Kumbu in the Bui division, together with some members, supporters and sympathizers and bigwigs of the Social Democratic Front Party. He also reveals that the chairman's convoy was subjugated to several checks at multiple checkpoints, mounted in some places by unidentified armed individuals and in some places by the Cameroonian Defense and Security Forces. He also indicated that the chairman was released after some negotiations between the SDF party and the kidnappers. The kidnap of the chairman of the Social Democratic Front Party came less than 24 hours after the kidnap of Senator Emilian Keze of the same political party, who equally doubles as vice president of the Senate in Cameroon. She is still under captivity, according to the shadow cabinet minister of communication for the Social Democratic Front Party. It should be noted that Honorable or Senator Emilian Keze was picked up yesterday in the Northwest Regional Chieftain Bamenda as he went to take part in the funeral ceremony of Honorable Joseph Banasem. And late Honorable Joseph Banasem, who is SDF party's parliamentary group leader, has been laid to rest in his native Kumbu in the Bui division, northwest region of the country. The burial of this member of parliament began with SDF party special honors at the residence of the party national chairman Nijon Fundi in the northwest regional chieftain Bamenda, precisely at the Ntariko neighborhood of Bamenda. Mbustela tells us more.
At the Tarinkon residence of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front Party, the flag is hung at half-mast. They are in tears for the loss of a son, father, friend, parliamentarian and parliamentary group leader, Honorable Banasem Joseph Lukong. Not even a wind could wave the flag hoisted this day. A mass in his honor was offered at the Tarinkon residence of the party's national chairman. In his homily, Reverend Father Humphrey Tatambwe had the following message for the mourners.
It is worthwhile reminding ourselves that human blood, a human being is not just any animal. He is different. You have a dignity, others have a dignity. Respect the dignity of others. We make the mistake sometimes of thinking that because I've got a certain post, then I am more than another human being. Unfortunately, we are all dust, and into dust we shall all return.
Proud to this day, there has been social media rumors that the late Honorable Member of Parliament may not be laid to rest in his native hometown due to the insecurity. While addressing mourners, the party's chair decried the recent twist to what is today qualified as the struggle.
Yesterday we start for do decorations because went for Polygy's compound before they bring the remains of Joe. They come abduct Vice President of Senate just for corner here. I say, come out here, send me wrong, go market, go pick some things. And people, they criticize me, say, I don't begin talk ill against Ambazonia. If Ambazonia don't turn at thieving, abducting people for seize money, then that's not the cause I stood for. Because in the court in Yaoundé, I tell the judge, say, my lord, this is not the unification we voted for inside the court. And I warn them, say, I shall never come to a court again.
Also confirmed is news that the Vice President at the Senate, a member of Parliament of the Social Democratic Front Party, the National Chairman's brother, and one of his workers abducted are still in captivity.
Now when I talk for now, my brother and 2 workers be abducted. They did for the camp of Amazonia. So when I go understand the kind of situation where I find myself in, where I know if you prepare myself for receive Joe the way my heart tell me.
The gap created by the death of a man who many have described as humble and ever ready to work towards the development of the society is irreplaceable. The late Honorable Banazem Joseph Lukong was the SDF parliamentary group leader from 2007 until his demise on March 30th following a brief illness in Yaoundé. He leaves behind a wife, children, friends, family to mourn for him.
And the Secretary General of the Bamenda Provincial Episcopal Conference has regretted that the Anglophone crisis continues to deepen further in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country. The Reverend Father, that is Bishop Agapitus Afon, who is equally the Bishop of the Kumba Diocese, was speaking recently in Buea, chief town of the southwest region of the country, during a ceremony to lay the foundation stone of the Secretariat of the Catholic Men's Fellowship. We have details with Derek Jato in Buea.
On a 2,000-meter square, Bishop Agabitus Fon, Bishop of Kumba Diocese, who doubles as the Secretary of the Bamenda Provincial Episcopal Conference, is laying a foundation stone, a 300 million worth project to host the National Secretariat of the Catholic Men Association, CMA, here in Moleko Buea, the Southwest Regional Capital. Apart from the funds these men will be contributing to realize their secretariat, Bishop Agabitus Fon also told them that the nation needs their contributions now more than ever to bring back peace in the trouble-hit northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
Some of you are in very key positions that you can influence those who are to take decisions to make life good and beautiful for the people, especially in the northwest and southwest regions. Play the role of St. Joseph.
The man of God later paints the picture of the state of the Anglophone crisis.
Every day, the numbers are adding. Many people are losing their lives. Houses are being burned down. And they all look to the church. They look up to the church. Our houses are more or less now like charity organizations. There's not a day. Yesterday, I was with Bishop Bushu. After the ordination, he did not rest. People were coming in and out, in and out. Before we left the house this morning, there was still somebody knocking at the window of the car when we were about going, still presenting a difficulty. That's what we are going through. We cannot meet up with all this without you.
Mr. O.K. Johnson Doe, the national president of the Catholic Men Association, said this secretariat stand for peace.
Let me tell you, the CMA, in the heart of this, had carried on a 9-day novena for peace in this country. And we know that with this secretariat, this project coming, it will help us, because part of it is to pray for peace. That's one of the major activities, spiritual activities that the CMA is carrying.
And now that the foundation has been laid, CMA members have as target to see their secretariat project completed within the expected time frame.
And you all find some
It should be noted that he was speaking during a ceremony to lay the foundation stone of the construction of the Secretariat of the Catholic Men's Association. We move over to the central region of Cameroon, precisely in the Leke divisional town of Obala, where sons and daughters of the town of Obala have decided to put into practice the concept of living together. They decided so during a crisis meeting that was chaired by the senior divisional officer for the Leke, Simon Patrick Kamsu, recently in Obala. And of course, it should be noted that the crisis meeting came after some love problems rather provoked or triggered clashes in Obala that led to the killing of a Cameroonian. We have more with Smart Njikan Gabriel.
Life has returned to normalcy in Obala after the horrible scene that was witnessed in the town within the week. Sons and daughters of the town have decided to reinforce the concept of living together. We have to collaborate with the other communities to strengthen living together. The Bible itself said it, everyone should be up on his feet. I'm glad everyone asks for pardon. Presided by the senior divisional officer of Lekie, the gathering ended with several resolutions which all were geared to instilling peace in Obala. We all have recognized our mistakes. We should apply the instructions, particularly that concerning the vigilante groups.
Celle qui concerne la routinisation des comités de vigilance.
We are going through hell here, Mr. Senior Divisional Officer. If you like, come here in the evening. You will realize that the rate of insecurity is high, that even sending a child is a problem. All present at the crisis meeting went home with the resolutions taken. As one person, we shall fight against tribalism in our different communities who have been living together for years now. Put in place an advisory body whose role is to calm down tempers of different ethnic groups in Obala.
Et de prévenir ou de modérer les tensions entre les différentes communautés sociologiques qui composent la localité d'Obala.
The senior divisional officer of Lekie again used the occasion to warn against the illegal sales of hard drugs like tramadol.
J'insiste à nouveau à lutte contre la vente illicite des médicaments.
Apart from hard drugs, the sales of alcoholic drinks to underage and urban disorders are some of the things that authorities in Obala will have to fight against for them to keep away the ugly incident that occurred in Obala last Wednesday, leaving 1 person dead and 12 persons injured.
From the central region of Cameroon, we move over to the far north region, precisely in the Mayo-Sava division and in Kolofata subdivision, where inhabitants of Kolofata are fighting hard to come out of the challenges inflicted on them by the Boko Haram terrorist group. They say education, which is one of the sectors of life hard hit by the Boko Haram activities, will be their special focus as of now. The resolutions came in a council meeting of the Kolofata Municipal Council. We have more in the following report. And of course, we shall be coming back to that report from Kolofata in subsequent edition of the news on Equinox Radio. We take you to Dizange, that is in the Sanaga Maritime Division of the Littoral region, to see how the people are suffering as a result of what they say the prevalence of midges. Immaculate Fogwe tells us more.
The prevalence of midges in Dizange in the Sanaga Maritime Division in the Littoral region is posing a great threat on the health of the inhabitants living in the area.
When you go back home, it can distract you from doing something. You'll be scratching your body. It can give you sickness, illnesses like malaria. In our school campus, you can be in class studying. Midges bite you, and when you hit it, you see blood everywhere on your hands.
And we are facing a lot of problems, especially at this season.
the rainy season where we have a lot of midges, which disturb us a lot in class, in the environment. Everywhere is so uncomfortable because everywhere you go, you find the midges biting you. There's nowhere you can hide from them. In class, it's very difficult because the students...
Health complications are not the only consequences of the prevalence of midges, as it has equally hampered the understanding of lectures by students of that locality.
The objectives are not attained because you find out that after the lesson you ask the student, have you understood? Yes, we have understood. But when you ask them questions, you find out that they have not understood anything because they kept hitting their body and not paying attention to the teacher. Sometimes when I'm in class teaching, a student find midges on my body and he or she will leave his seat, comes to me and hit me on the face in order to kill the midges, with the midges biting me.
They have adopted alternative means of prevention, like wearing dresses that cover the whole body.
We even have to use local preventive moves. For example, you see we wear long sleeves and wear socks because we can't do without them. But yet, they still bite us. It doesn't prevent them from biting us. It goes through the dresses and it bites us. Or we also use creams. There's some creams which prevent them from biting us. But when you rub them, after like 2 minutes, it comes back. So we don't really know what to do anymore. It's really, really uncomfortable. And we really think something should be done about it. If not, I don't know how we are going to do. Because the student, it makes the lesson.
They are calling on government authorities to come to their aid by addressing the problem.
We plead on the government to help us fight against the midges in our school, because whenever we are in class we can't follow up. Whenever we are in class we can't follow up because the midges beat us the way we can't concentrate for what our mother is teaching us. So we plead to the government to help us and send drugs that can prevent us from the midges in our school.
While they await on the authorities to do something fast in combating the prevalence of midges in their area, they continue to live the consequences.
That's it for this edition of the news. Thank you for staying with Equinox Radio. We are wishing you a happy weekend. Nadine Yambo, we are wishing the happy weekend
merci,
to all the...
Merci Fomi Ausron Sanda. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est la fin de ce journal. Merci pour votre aimable attention et passez d'agréables moments en compagnie de nos programmes.